have some advice for you. Learn how to organize. Prioritize your tasks. Eat that frog. Multitask. No single task is the only way to go. Time is money. It's too much. You are convinced there must be a better way. Hello, welcome back to the Studio I YouTube channel. I am happy to have you here because I believe there's a better way to be productive. Today I want to talk about productivity advice and some advice out there that I think really doesn't work, and some ways on how you can improve your approach to productivity. Eat the frog. Eat the frog is the idea to start your day with the task you dread the most. And while this may work for some because then it's out of the way, for a lot of people it leads to hesitation and resistance to starting their workday altogether. So that's why I personally am not a fan of the eat the frog idea. By taking all of your willpower and energy in the beginning of the day to do a task that you don't want to do, you actually limit the potential that you have throughout the rest of the day. So if you find that eating the frog is not the right advice for you, try implementing parts of that task throughout your day. Divide it into small parts, or try to meet up with a friend in a nice coffee shop and try to get through all of those tasks together, because that way there is this social pressure that keeps you from walking away from the work that you're doing. You're both eating your frogs, you're both doing things that you don't want to be doing, and being together makes it a little nicer. Giving yourself rewards. We often hear the advice to reward yourself after you have executed a certain behavior or habit, and this way we create a positive association with the habit. However, sadly, our brains are not stupid, and they eventually figure out that you don't need the habit or behavior to get the rewards. And you will try to find ways or make excuses for skipping the habit and getting the reward instead. You're more likely to end up with your reward habit than with the actual habit that you were trying to start in the first place. Because it's so easy to get addicted to the reward, a way to fix this is to find those rewards within the habits that you're trying to implement. So you have to find the joy and the benefit of that behavior within the behavior itself. Think about the idea of your brain being super clear after you had a brain dumping session in your journal, or that endorphin high that you have after you had a workout. Those are rewards that you can only get by doing that behavior, and that way you can get yourself addicted to doing the behavior in the first place, which makes it a whole lot easier to stick to the habits that you're trying to implement. If you can't find a reward within the habit, then maybe it is the wrong habit for you. Because if there's no joy, you probably will not stick to this because there's no benefit for you. There is no reward within. There is nothing good that comes out of it for you. So try finding a different habit or a different way to still get the same results, but in a way that is more enjoyable and that rewards you for doing the behavior instead. Okay, this cat does not want to be here. Go. Be free. You need to have goals. I am personally a goal setter. I love me a good goal, and if you have watched my other videos and the advice that I often give on this channel, you'll see that I am someone who loves to set goals for myself because they give me guidance and direction. But goal setting isn't for everyone. Some people might find it really daunting or really restricting. And then you need to have goals is actually bad advice. To prevent that overwhelm and that feeling of restriction, you can actually work with areas of focus and systems instead. One of my goals for the year is to make more friends, and instead of saying like I want to have 5 new friends by the end of the year, I could also just say friendships are a general area of focus for me. It's something that I want to invest time in and something that I want to improve. And then I can come up with a system that allows me to improve that area. So, and a system consists of habits that will help you better the area of your life that you're talking about. So for making friends, that would be taking up hobbies and going outside more so I can actually meet people. If you say that your health is an area of focus for this year, you could look at eating healthier and working out and just coming up with habits that will allow you to better the situation without focusing on the results so much. For some people, that results, that end goal might be really discouraging, while for people like me, it's actually really encouraging. So find what you prefer, working with areas of focus, working with goals, or you can mix both. For example, for me, for friendships, it's an area of focus, but the number of subscribers that I want to have by the end of the year is a very clear goal. Time blocking. Time blocking your day can be great, but it's horrible advice if you forget to take your energy management into account. We can time block away behind our desk all we want. If we don't pay attention to our energy levels and what is actually achievable, we will never achieve it all or end up burned out and demotivated. When you are time blocking, you often underestimate the energy or the time that a task takes, and we tend to fill our days completely to the brim with all kinds of activities that we have to do, one thing after another. We forget to put in breaks, we forget to look at the time it takes us to get from point A to point B. So time blocking can be great, but it should be more of a loose guide and not something that allows you to micromanage your own day. If managers shouldn't micromanage their employees, you also shouldn't micromanage yourself. Standing still is going backwards. This is advice that I grew up with. It was my dad's biggest sentence that he said all the time. If you don't go forwards, you are moving backwards. And this belief has been ingrained in me for ages. But if you think about it, we need to stand still. We need time to reflect, to learn, and to process and look back on the things that we have done in the past. Because when we only keep flying forwards, we will never learn and process what we have experienced before. And we also just need time to rest. So sometimes it's okay to stand still. It is okay to reflect and learn from your mistakes. It is okay to take rest days. In that time, you may be standing still, but it will allow you to keep going for longer, because the people that never take a break will eventually crash. They will need a way longer time to recover than the people who regularly stand still, take a breath, and then move on. They might have to stop once in a while, but their recovery time will be far less significant than the people who actually crash into a wall and need weeks or months or even years to recover. The ultimate guide to this or that. We as content creators, and myself included, we need to create titles or products that promise it all, because otherwise you wouldn't click on it. So we often come up with titles like the ultimate guide to achieving your goals or the ultimate way to figure out what you want to do in life. And while we truly believe that we are giving you good advice, it is never a good idea to copy and paste those things into your own life. You can take bits and pieces of different ultimate guides and create a productivity system that works for you. And that is actually what I'm going to make my next week's video about the different types of productivity systems and the ways that you could implement them in your life. And then you can start puzzling it all together. So if that's a video that you would like to see, you can hit the subscribe button down below and you will get a notification when I upload that. And with that, that was actually the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, it would mean the world to me if you subscribed. I will also link my other channels like my TikTok, Instagram, and podcast down below, as well as my ebook that I have, The Ultimate Guide to Your Dream Life. See what I did there? Ultimate Guide. But it's actually a really, really nice ebook with over 60 pages of advice and exercises that will help you figure out what your dream life looks like and how you can actually take steps towards it. So if that's something that might interest you, it is linked in the description box down below. And otherwise, I hope to see you on Friday. Toodaloo!